cool. I love the little recording in progress voice.
This video is recorded.
It's so polite. Okay, so just really quick intro. I'm Kat. I've done all kinds of different creative things from writing books to 3D lighting for animation to music back in the day, and now I'm
Mm.
doing art. So I've come at this from multiple different angles of creativity, and I'm here with Mazzy, from the
Hi.
Philippines. Hello, and we're gonna have a little discussion about what's happening with Cara. So for those of you who don't know, Cara is a portfolio website that was started back, I want to say 2022, 2023,
Mhm.
when uh, so kind of when AI first hit, generative AI, I'm going to make sure we clarify that generative AI,
Yep.
Midjourney, all those, when they first hit and AI generated art started taking over portfolio sites that have been around for decades, like ArtStation and DeviantArt. And a lot of artists were being squeezed out of those profile sites because of the increased upload of AI generated art. So Jinga and the group over at Cara decided to make Cara as a place that was going to have human vetting, so make sure everybody on Cara is a human artist, and was going to try to take measures to prevent scraping because we wanted to make it a safe place for artists. Because as we all know, you know, there's the constant refrain of, oh, well, if you post your art in public, then it's free game, which we'll get into. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
But the idea was, okay, we're going to have a place off of social media, off of these other sites that have basically capitulated to AI because they weren't doing anything to block AI generated art. They weren't doing anything to prevent scraping, even though artists built these sites. So Cara was created. And it has about 1 million users. And it had been a little quiet little niche of us for artists to kind of come hang out and just do our thing. And then a couple of days ago, there was a post on Reddit that basically stated, hey, I have scraped the entirety of the Cara website, which turns out is about 12 million pieces of art. So what we're starting to do as an artist community is this has got kind of motivated a lot of artists to start taking action and talk about AI more than we already have been for the past 4 years, 6 years. It seems forever now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of open it up to Mazzy a little bit. Mazzy's been an artist for quite a while. She's mostly was originally doing traditional and now she does digital. So as someone who has been doing art for a long time, because I'm kind of newer to art, even though I've done other creative things, when you heard about this, what was your reaction? How do you think this is going to impact the art community even more than AI already has?
Talk about transitioning to digital
More of the
from
scraping,
the
and
scraping.
yeah, the
Yeah.
attack on Kara, because now it's a situation where we're sort of feeling like we've tried to create this safe space and now we can't even,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So like when you saw what had happened, like what was sort of your reaction to it?
Absolute demotivation because I've seen every post like every time. It's like if you don't want to get scraped, don't post it. It's like what I was like, what the fuck? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's how I communicate. I'm not a chatty person compared to now. I
Right,
just
right,
chatted up because of what happened.
right.
Uh this is how I like express myself, share uh like like a non-verbal way because I have diagnosed
Mm-hmm.
is when being bullied as a kid, so that's how I express. But
Okay.
saying yeah, but them saying that like I shouldn't be sharing, it's like a gut wrench for me for my not only for my motivation but for my mental health as well. It's like
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what to do. How should I like express beyond art, for example.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And I think there is for as long as this whole generative AI scraping conversation has been going on. And I think this is sort of maybe where the educational part comes in for people who aren't artists. I feel that a lot of the situation is people don't understand that art for us isn't just, we're just drawing because we feel like it. Like, oh,
Yeah.
we're bored, we're gonna draw. Um,
No.
and that the even though yes, we're publicly sharing, that doesn't necessarily mean we're okay with people taking our art and feeding it into an AI machine or
Mm.
using it for their own purposes. Now, to be fair, I mean, as long as people have been sharing art on the internet, there's been right click and download, people have stolen it and blah, 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 blah. But the difference is with AI is the exponential size of the problem. And I mean, with you doing traditional back in the day, people could always, back in the day, take a picture of your art and then, oh yeah, I could put it into Photoshop or whatever. Which, yeah, it sucks. And we could still do things about that, but how often would that actually happen compared to, a person going onto our website and then taking a week or two and just running a scraping bot and scraping 12 million works of art? you know um so I think like if as an artist, like when you see kind of the disconnect from people going, oh well, what you posted it, what does it matter, you obviously wanted to share it, like how would you explain to people, yeah, don't mind, I'm sharing it, but I don't want you to take it? Like what's a good way to explain that, maybe so people who aren't artists understand it better?
It's like I would like to say because my avatar is a car, so technically a car. I
Right.
have a car already parked in the open.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you don't want to steal it. They had
Mm-hmm.
the stereotype you won't steal a car.
Right,
PSA.
right.
Yeah, that's a good example. Like you shouldn't like I have a car, like it's
Hmm.
there. But that doesn't mean you can come and take it.
Right. Right. And and kind of what I've kind of looked at it is I think people see because it's pixels, they'll think, oh, it's
Yeah.
pixels, who cares? You can make another one. And this is one argument I've seen is like, well, it doesn't really affect you economically because, it's just a file. It's not the quote
Mm.
original piece.
Original, yeah.
Right. And coming from a traditional background, you obviously at some point or another would have made prints to sell your prints.
Yep.
So do you think that it's a valid comparison to say, okay, well, yeah, yes, I have my original piece of oil canvas, right? But I also made prints. And do you think, would a person think that, okay, if you went into an art museum and stole all the prints, that that's not an economic assault on an artist just because they can make more prints of their original canvas? You
Yeah,
know?
that yeah, it's basically a competition
Mm-hmm.
against the original compared to
Mm-hmm.
say that guy who sends memes, for example. It's like yeah, that's the difference between stealing an actual image versus a someone save us and then turn it to a meme. That one is like you're not competing with me. You're just making a joke. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
doing jokes. So that's nothing burger. Compared
Right,
to
right,
say, hey, you stole my shit, you turn it into a slop, you sell it, and now you're my competition.
right. And that's the thing is like if somebody walked into an art museum and stole all the prints, we would still consider that theft. Like those
Mm,
people, if they were arrested for stealing the prints, would still face legal consequences because you
yep.
stole prints.
Mm,
So to me, just because it is a digital file doesn't make it any less of a theft because you're still
mm.
stealing my work to, you know,
Compete against me. Yeah.
compete. And I think people don't view the AI training database as quote competition for artists, but those people aren't dealing with the massive influx of AI art that's being put everywhere for sale.
Mm,
And I'm sure you've seen, people posting about how they're going, people will say, well, just go sell it in person. Okay. Well, I've seen countless artists now saying, yeah, I'm vending at a fair and all five tables around me are AI generated art.
Yeah. Because it's
And
easy to make. Yeah.
because it's easier to make. And, as an artist, we both know it takes a while to make art. Like, we can't just churn out
Yeah.
5 million images in 5 seconds. Like, hello,
Basically, yeah.
you know. So it is basic economics on some level of, okay, well, if a person who's generating AI images can sit there and generate 50 in a day,
Mm.
and sites like Etsy or DeviantArt or wherever you sell art, their algorithm is based on showing you what's new.
Mm.
So someone's generating 50 images a day, they go upload, 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 upload. And people like you and me are going, okay, well, I finished one today or two, if I'm
Yeah.
lucky.
Yeah.
And if you're doing traditional and then, trying to sell traditional, it could take you months. It could take you 40, 50 hours to make a piece of art. Um,
Yeah.
and you cannot compete with that in a social in a an electronic era. Like,
Mm.
hello. Like, so there is an economic factor with all of this. And when somebody steals 12 million pieces of art, or even, the original scraping of the entire freaking internet, um, people who are generating that art and then selling it, even if it's not a direct copy of what you and I did, it's trained on yours and mine art.
Yep.
So they did technically steal our art to put it into a database that is now being used to compete with against us.
Pretty
Um,
much.
yeah, and it's like how do you view the conversation that always comes up with, like, well, artists learn from looking at art too, so how is it any different than AI doing it? Like, how do
There's
you? Yeah.
yeah, there's a thing about me because I have this quote unquote condition because I tend to forget things. You
Right.
know, just because I got all the memories, like all the experiences, doesn't
Hmm.
mean I remember it or my memory is very true.
Right.
It's
Right.
like it's like what it is the AI thing going on, like the psychosis, the whole
Hmm. Hmm.
like there's a
Oh,
news about the hallucinations. There we go.
hallucinations.
It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah, yeah. For them, it's hallucinations. For me, it's like a more of a false memory. Like,
Hmm.
like say, I remembered like physical experience. I experienced meeting Mickey Mouse, for example.
Okay.
But give it 10 years later, it now I'm misremembering it as a say I'm meeting with Donald Duck. So my
Okay.
experience is now right different,
Right, right, right.
and the outcome of my art is very very different.
Okay. So, but if you're saying, if someone's saying, well, if okay, so artists, we use references to do art, right?
Yeah,
So when people are generating AI images, that, one of the talking points back to us is, oh, well, that how is it any different than an artist using a reference? And I,
reference. Yeah,
I think what it comes down to is the references that we're not using it specifically. I mean, we're not stealing those ideas and compiling them together to create something else. Like, we have
they
our original
consented.
idea. Hmm?
Yeah, they consented. Like people who post references, it's like
Mhm.
intended to be copied by artists. Like,
Right.
hey, this is me post it, do a T post. You feel free to copy in your character, for example.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's kind of different from downright scraping and generating the same T post image.
Right, right. Or even, yeah, I may be using a reference, but I'm just looking at it to make sure my anatomy looks decent or my proportions look decent.
Yeah,
Or, okay, how does this
yeah,
flower look? Okay, I'm, I think that, to me, it's like, it's more we're using it intentionally as we're using it to
yeah,
check our work, you know,
yeah.
versus with the AI database, it's just it's basically a conglomeration of a bunch of images waiting for someone to go, make me an image of a woman on a bike carrying a basket in, 1800s France. And it goes, here's like
Mm.
500 of them, pick one. You know,
Mhm.
there's no intention, I think, to it versus when we're doing the art, we're like, okay, I intentionally want to have this idea and I'm gonna go, use references to just check my work so I make sure that it's looking good. So
It's
I think that's kind of a difference in it.
it's also making it like your mention about a historical thing in France. It's also
Hmm.
like you're trying to be accurate.
Right.
Like
Accuracy is huge.
you're
Yeah,
try
yeah.
yeah, accuracy is very huge on the artist. Like compare that to like try to generate the same thing. It's like where's the accuracy?
Right. You're like, it could be have a mishmash of architecture from France and England, and then, oh, hey, let's toss in something from, Russia. I'd be like, that's not French architecture. What are you talking about? Like,
Basically.
what are you doing? Okay, so back to the to let's go back to the Cara scraping. So
Mhm.
I think one reason that the Cara scraping is hitting all of us so hard is because we felt like we had been doing what we were being, quote, told to do, which is get off social media if you don't want people to steal your stuff, you
Yep.
know, make your own space. So
Yeah.
for someone, and I'm gonna give credit to the person who did this, is they have come forward and they are actually now helping Kara increase their security because they had a very long conversation with an artist and they were like, yeah, okay, maybe this wasn't such a good thing for me to do. So they do regret what they did, and now they're trying to help, make Kara a safer website. But there seems to be a mindset among people who do AI scraping and whatever that this is basically in a way like a victimless thing. It's a challenge. They see it as, oh well, this place says they're safe. Well, let me go ahead and attack it and see how safe it is. But they're not necessarily doing it all the time maliciously. Like this person just said, "Oh, it just seemed like a fun project." Um, and I think for us as creatives, do you feel like that's just like it's people have that view because they're just disconnected from how we feel about our art, or it's just a completely different mindset like than creatives had? It's not so much a malicious thing, it's like a challenge thing. you know I mean, I know there's some that do it maliciously, but do you think on some level
Yeah.
people are just seeing this like, oh, let's just do this because it's fun? Like how would do you think we could maybe have a discussion with people going, look, at this isn't just a thing for you to do for fun. Like this does have real world impacts on people who are, trying to stay away from this, trying to stay away from AI.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like even non-artists as well, they don't know that art is not just posting images, straight up drawing. It's also like the process. The
Hmm.
process is the most therapeutic part. So it's like they're invalidating our like life's work, like decades worth of trying to make it good versus them just generated in seconds. And the whole scraping thing
Hmm.
is like trust is a very rare resource. Like
Right.
how can I tell if this person will do it again,
Hmm.
or it becomes a malicious thing? Since there's a
Hmm.
thing about evil comes from pure intentions. I
Right.
don't know the correct quote.
Right. Right. Right.
Uh, like like who knows? Like
The
it
road,
get
the one of the ways to phrase it is the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
yeah, that one. Yeah, it's
Yep.
basically like that.
Yeah.
Like who knows? Hey, I did this for a challenge. Please notice me. Please praise me. And then suddenly like look what happened to Reddit. Like what happened in Reddit, for example. Like they got
Hmm. They got
dogpiled.
permabanned. Yeah.
Permabad dog and even dog by from AI bros. Even AI bros as well. Like wow, like I never seen
Hmm.
a reasonable one. It's kind of rare. Like I said, trust is rare.
Yeah.
Trust is fucking rare.
Right. And I think what we as artists really need to express with people or express to people, and I think this comes because so many people are just like, oh, just we don't need art. Like art's just a thing, you know.
Mm.
Um, and this is happening. It's not just art. I mean, this is happening in the music industry. This is happening with writers. AI generated novels are
Yeah.
flooding Amazon.
Yeah.
Spotify just finally decided to crack down on AI generated music. Thank God.
Finally. Fuck's sake.
Finally, and all this stuff is coming out. But I think on some level, humanity as a whole, I'm just gonna say humans as a whole,
Humans.
really have consistent we're consistently dismissive of the value of creativity. and
Mm.
and I think on some level it's because we've become disconnected from it, at least here in the States. We don't necessarily do art in school anymore. We don't necessarily do music at school. All that, a lot of that funding has gone poof. Well, that's a whole other conversation. But, you know, we see art as just another thing to consume, and we don't
Yeah.
value what it we don't value we don't value the value. That's redundant, but you know what I'm saying. We don't value the process, and we don't value that someone spent hours and hours and hours on this. And artists have always had to struggle against this. This is nothing new. But in a situation at this moment, since there's about 1 million of us on Cara who are all like, oh hell no, like you've just angered a bunch of artist people. Y'all gonna learn that we have power. um like um do you think that this is maybe a moment that people are going to start maybe valuing creativity for the amount of work that gets involved? Because I am seeing more and more conversation around Gen Z and Gen Alpha wanting to disconnect, but also people like, I want to learn how to do art, I want to learn how to do this. I've seen multiple things on threads where people are like, I don't want to deal with AI, I'm actually going to learn how to draw my own character for my own book. Like, thank you.
Mm.
you know
Goodness.
do
Yeah.
you think that this maybe is gonna in some way maybe affect how people are looking at this even more? Because it's like, look, guys, we did all the things you said to do to stay away from having this happen to us.
Mm.
And now we're kind of under assault because it wasn't just this one guy. There's been another couple people, I think, and I'm sure other people are trying
Yeah.
to break Kara now. And it's like we
Mm.
just want to exist.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
And it's not it's
Yeah.
not that it's not that we hate you. I mean, yeah, we're not really happy with AI bros right now, but could we maybe come to an agreement that the value of art is worth more than the value of the data that you're collecting, you
Yeah.
know? Um, I mean, I really think what it's come down to is people, oh, we're going to be running out of time in a minute. I only did 40 minutes on the call. 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes. We can wrap this up.
Let's
Um,
go.
let's go. But do you think that on some level, everything being posted on the internet is devaluing art even more because people just see so much of it when they're scrolling Instagram or whatever? They're like, oh, there's 1 million people doing it. It's a pixel, it's a file, who cares?
There is huh. Yeah, that's a good question. Like there is some value into it, like for example, inspiration,
Mm-hmm.
motivation, maybe a ways to make friends. Like right
Right.
now, I'm trying to learn heraldry, and I just learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's pretty much what I see. But I get the non-artist perspective of it. It's like everything is posted too fast. I mean, there's a lot of artists, so kind of can't blame them.
Mm-hmm.
So that depends on the person, like how they see value art. Like,
Okay.
is it just an image, or is it someone made? You know?
Right. Yeah. And I think that's something that maybe there's a chance to, because how many artists now are getting this whole, well, why should I pay you when I can just generate it? Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Fuck's sake. Yeah.
exactly. And that, coming back to the financial thing, is like, okay, well, you have graphic designers, you have people who are doing commissions like you were, you have people who were making a living or even making
Mm.
side cash to pay for vacations and this and that doing art, who are now dealing with people going, well, I'm not going to pay you because I can do it on my own. It's like, but I almost kind of want to sit there going, well, why are you giving billionaires more money by generating it
Yeah, basically.
versus giving, the single mom down the street who's doing art to feed her kids or to get the kids an extra vacation. Why aren't you paying them? Like, I think that too many people don't value the power that their money has to help
Yeah.
other people, you
Yeah,
know?
it's basically on my end. Like $10 is a lot. ten
Right.
dollars is a fucking lot.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
for the billionaires, it's just pennies. It's just pennies for them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing is like, and I'm actually gonna do a video about the whole Cara thing to post on socials too. But
Mm,
like I wanna have this, on some level I do want to take it down to dollars and cents because there is such a global conversation about economic inequality.
mm,
That okay, if someone paid you $10, you're gonna take that $10 and do more with it, and then that
no.
$10 that you get is going to help another business, and that's going to help another business. That's going to help another
Mm,
business. And with AI taking so much money out of this, there's billions of artists worldwide. Like go on VGen,
mm,
go everywhere, go on Etsy back before Etsy was taken over by Slop. There's literally billions of us. And we have
mm.
this huge water wheel of economics of people giving us money and then us spending money on other things. You remove the money coming to us, you're really undercutting a lot of economic momentum, you know?
Yep.
And I think people aren't understanding that. So I'm thinking maybe like this is a moment too where us as artists can be like, yo, yes, we may be, quote, starving, but we actually help prop up economies.
Yeah, basically I pay the random barista next door. Yeah, all
Yeah.
that $10 will be like the random t-shirt maker down the street, the barista next door,
Okay, but
the
the
random
amount of
kid.
coffee that artists pay for, like if you take all of our ability to buy coffee away from us, I mean, how many coffee shops will
Basically.
go under?
Yeah, basically.
Coffee shops will go under. Um,
Basically.
so yeah, so we got a couple more minutes. So I just kind of want to wrap up, like real quick, like to kind of
Mm.
round this out. If you had like an AI bro in front of you, a tech bro in front of you, like what would you want to say to go, can we please maybe come to some understanding? Like this is what your technology, generative AI, is doing to us. Like what would you say?
I have this conversation with my relatives.
She's like, oh, I'm
Um,
prepped.
I'm prep. My uncle is he used to be a creative. He has like YouTube now, so he
Okay.
discussed me about. Hey, he's like suggesting me like to use AI, and I was like, No, I already did what I do. Like, why
Mm-hmm.
should I use something that is basically against what I do?"
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and also kind of hard to explain to someone who, I mean, he used to be a creative, but he's like pivoting to AI because economic reasons, really. So like for me, like what is that word? Integrity. Yeah, there we go.
Integrity.
Like
Right, right, right. Okay.
integrity. It's like I want to be me. My image supposed to represent me, like the
Okay.
purest form of me.
Mm-hmm.
So why I should let the a random image generator like a RNG do a false version of me?
Okay. Right. And I mean, if he used to be a creative and he's doing YouTube, like what is he using AI for? Just to like make thumbnails or what?
Uh, like for maybe like videos,
Okay.
thumbnails, maybe like assets. Like it's supposed to be like before the AI, their families should be like sometimes recommend other relatives to do their thing because it's easier to
Mm-hmm.
like networking, like it's very closer than
Right.
like than say a office situation.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a
Okay.
cultural thing.
Well, and that's the thing. That's another good point, and I'm glad you said that. So, if people instead of networking and talking to their relatives or talking to their friends or going online and being like, hey, I need blah, 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 they just hit a button to do it.
Yep.
How much more socialization are we taking away from ourselves? We have this whole
Basically.
loneliness epidemic. We have this whole people aren't communicating with people anymore. Well,
Mm.
artists, I mean, we live to collaborate. Like we want to
Yeah.
collaborate. We want to have these conversations and discuss because creativity works best when you're working with other people. And,
Mm.
you know, the best ideas come from multiple people having conversations. And if we're getting to a point where people aren't wanting to network with even their relatives, and I've seen that
Mm.
same conversation before, like on threads and elsewhere, people are like, yeah, my dad's not even talking to me about doing art for, having me do art anymore because he's just generating it. I'm like, okay, so now you're breaking social threads because instead of asking your family member or whatever, you're just doing it on your own. So now you're becoming more isolated. The artist is becoming more isolated, not to mention they're losing out on money. So where is for arts, AI was supposedly going to democratize art. I'm like, well, what is the worth of democratizing, which that's a whole other word later, if all we're doing is becoming more isolated and stuck into our own silos about just push a button and make it happen? We're continually kind of losing more connection by using more and more AI stuff. I mean, does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, that's the thing with the guys. People say like, if you don't wanna get scraped, don't post something because you're
Hmm.
breaking communication. You're
Right, right,
just
right.
trying to sever the community, the ties. Because,
Okay.
like I said, art is a communication.
Right.
It's not just a picture. It's a
It's a
language,
form of
a
communication.
vis-
Right.
a visual language. Yeah.
Cool. And on that note, we're out at 1 minute. So I think that's a good place to end it. Like, it's a visual communication, people talk.
Yeah. Talk, talk, please.
Jeez. Awesome sauce. Well, thank you for joining me. I'm glad we were able to hop on and get this done. And then I
Yeah.
will render this out and edit it and make sure it's all sounds good. And then I will post it. And yeah, cool. It was nice to talk to
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Good
take it
luck.
easy. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.